A silence heavy enough to devour all sound filled the throne room, now emptied of its guards. The king's confession, Tida, is my son, reverberated endlessly within Luna's heart. Her father was a prince. She, the granddaughter of a king. The shards of an impossible truth locked into place, grinding against her very soul. This is a tale from my youth, the king began, his voice hushed, his gaze fixed on a distant past. I longed not for the stifling studies of the palace, but for the lives of my people. To see them with my own eyes, to walk among them with my own feet. One day, I persuaded my guards, spurred my horse, and rode beyond the palace forest into the city. There, I met her. A woman of the dragon clan. She was beautiful, and there was something about her, mysterious, ineffable. In his eyes flickered not the majesty of a sovereign, but the shadow of a man who had loved a single woman. The dragon clan can take human form. We met beneath the new moon, again and again, until love bound us. But between humans and dragons yawned a chasm too deep to cross. Ours was a forbidden love, one that could never see the light of day. And then, Tida was born. The very existence of a child carrying dragon's blood was a taboo great enough to unmake the kingdom's history. The warmth of her touch, the sight of my son's sleeping face, those alone were my solace. But such fleeting happiness could not endure. One night beneath the new moon, I went to her as always, but she was gone. In her place stood my father, the former king, cold, unyielding. She had already given her dragon blood, sacrificed for the control of the map of time. It was not until 15 years later that he would learn his son had survived. One day, during the ritual of the map of time, Tida appeared. He declared himself a descendant of the dragon clan. And spoke of the possibility of truly mastering the map. Rumors of a young scholar who was publishing a series of groundbreaking papers in the field of botany had reached my ears. That scholar was Tida. But my father saw him not as hope, but as a tool. I could do nothing. My beloved woman, and then my only son. I watched them slip through my grasp. Between the duties of a king and the helplessness of a man, I was far too weak. His confession ended, and once again the throne room drowned in silence. Breaking the silence, Luna quietly opened her mouth. Your Majesty, why did you go so far to monopolize the map of time? Why choose a path that made you despised by the world? Luna, what do you think sustains the balance of power in this world? The answer is illusion. The truth is, the power to see into past and future was lost long ago. For humankind, the map of time was too complex, impossible to master. But if the nations knew this truth, who would believe it? They would still pursue the illusion of power and plunge into endless strife. It was the illusion of seeing the future that, ironically, had prevented the world's destruction. And so, for 1,000 years, Cobalt became the villain of the world. By drawing every hatred onto myself, I spun a false peace. A common enemy, this alone bound the nations together. His shoulders sank beneath the weight of his sins. Luna, the fragment within you, it is part of the map of time, is it not? Luna gasped. The fragment in her chest pulsed hot and fierce, as if in answer. There is something only you can do. Restore the map of time to its true form, an existence that governs and harmonizes time itself. Only you, born of dragon's blood, may be the key to mastering it. Then tell me, why was my mother sacrificed in the ritual? It was the final truth Luna needed to hear. The king closed his eyes, gathering the words. But before he could speak, a tremor thundered from afar. The crash of collapsing walls roared through the throne room. Suddenly, the urgent voice of the chief secretary rang from beyond the doors. Your Majesty, the west gate has been breached. The enemy has entered the castle. The screams of soldiers followed. It was the moment the 1,000-year lie unraveled. The moment false peace ended. In the king's eyes burned the light of final resolve. Slowly, he turned to face Luna. Go, Luna. Behind the throne lies the path to the map's core. I will buy you time. He seized the sword from the wall, and without hesitation strode toward the door. It was the back of a king, burdened with a millennium of sin. And yet, the back of a grandfather, entrusting the future to his only granddaughter.